when you have kids, certainly a few years ago in comedy, people would tell you, if you have kids, keep it quiet. No one wants to hear about that. You gotta stay young, relevant, and you don't want to become one of those dad comics. Whereas actually, that's so far from the truth because, like you say, it's a lot of people's lives. It ends up being
relatable, yeah.
Lives, I think. Yeah, so
it's what we do here on the Breakfast Show. We bring. I've got 5 children actually, and Sam's got 1. He's recently become a dad. What, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, baby Hughie. So we're going to pick your brains on that in a bit, actually, because he needs some advice. Because I went round his house the other day and I had to help him make a bottle. It was that bad. It was that bad. He didn't know how to pull the bottle teat through the bottle lid, and all of a sudden the baby was getting wind, and he couldn't figure out why. And that was the reason. But
it's so stressful, that early bit, Sam, isn't it? Because you're suddenly, instantly a dad, and no one has really told you how to do any of it.
I just got home with him, and I was like, what do we do now then?
How many children have you got, George?
I got 3. Three. That's it.
Boys, girls?
I got both. We've got a 6-year-old boy, a 5-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old boy.
Lovely. So you got the mix of it as well. That's nice.
Yeah, it is good. It's it is good, but it's enough.
It's enough.
5 seems a lot.
Do you know what? I've got 5. I've got a 20-year-old daughter. So I've got girl, boy, boy. I've got a 20-year-old daughter down to a 1.5-year-old son. So
mate.
Yeah. I've gone through all of the emotions. Wait until your children get to teenagers. Your content's going to go wild. Because all of a sudden, there's going to be so much content, you're not going to know what to do with it.
There'll be another book written.
Yeah, boy. Sam, Sam mentioned actually you got a book. What's that about then?
Yeah, that's actually Sam. You need to get the book, man. It's called "Don't Panic: Everything the Expectant Dad Needs to Know."
Tell me about.
It's all about. It's like a how-to book for new dads, basically, and it's basically I wrote it. So this was actually before I started doing the Instagram videos and stuff, and it was when I wrote it during lockdown when all the comedy work went away, and I was a new dad, and I'd felt like I'd read a couple of dad's books, but they were all like really blokey and just practical. It was like just how to change a nappy, how to pack a bag, and when I became a dad, I was like, there's so many bits about this that no one told me about, which a lot of it's like the emotional stuff about how certain things feel, or the bits that are worrying, or the bits that are boring that no one told you about, and then you feel...
Give me an example then. So from the book, then give me an example of what you're talking about in there. Give me one of your stories out of it.
Well, the thing that I was surprised at was, how boring some of it is, and it's
what's it, childbirth itself?
Oh yeah, you've got nothing to do. No, the childbirth. Well, in fact, so something on that, the thing that I again hadn't been told was just how it feels like you're constantly in an emergency throughout the whole thing. Certainly to me, it felt like you're in a life and death situation for 12 hours and you're panicking, but why is no one else panicking? So that panics you more. Yeah. And then the moment that you reassure yourself that, they're not panicking because it's normal, then when they do start panicking, you're like, oh, now it's really bad. Oh, God, this is it. This is the end of it. And I was like, why did no one mention... Everyone just told me, oh, yeah, it's the best day of your life. It's the best day of your life. And I'm like, what the hell?
It is a bit nerve-wracking. I found childbirth probably more nerve-wracking than going to court. You know what I mean? You're half in control there, ain't you? You can run out the door and just do one, can't you? Flee the country.
Can't do anything in the other situation.
You just got to stay there and you've got to be supportive and get your hand torn to bits, ain't you? Where can we buy that book? That sounds quite good, actually. I might have a little buy of that one. Where can we buy that?
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's on Amazon, Waterstones. It's available everywhere. It's Don't Panic.
Don't Panic.
That's what it's called. But the other thing as well is it's got loads of... a lot of my friends did me a favour there, because this was before I had a big Instagram following. So a lot of much more famous comedians like Ramesh Ranganathan, Josh Widdicombe, Russell Kane, they've all put little bits in, so they're little bits of advice as well. So it's got it's got a load of people in there.
2 seconds. Let me stop you there while I pick them names up.
Them little animals.
You understand the plug, surely.
I do indeed. I know Jack Edwards, the producer of the Full Builders Breakfast. Yes, I know that. Tell us about your tour then. It's sold out. You have to add more dates. When are the dates, mate?
Yeah, so the ones that have just gone on sale now are in the autumn. They are starting September through to November, and that's the final run, because I started it last autumn and I was only going to do about, I don't know, 15, 20 dates, but by the time it's done, it's going to have been about 120, I think.
Wow. Well, you got one in October. It says the 17th, London, Hackney Empire, selling fast. That's one for me, actually. That would be one
That's probably the closest one to us.
Closest one from us. You've got a lot of them, actually. Some of them saying last few, so it looks like these are going to sell out as well.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it'd be embarrassing if I added those last few big ones and no one came to there.
My man's having turkey in December for Christmas. He ain't having chickens no more, brother. He's selling out tours, man. Wait, we've got a festival going on, actually, the 30th of August.
Yes.
Fix Fest. Are you performing anywhere? What are you doing? What's your diary like?
What, in August? I don't think so. I think the only thing I'm planned for August is I'm going to go on my first all-inclusive holiday.
Lovely. Well, keep the 30th of August free. Go over to fixfest.co.uk. You can buy your tickets there, mate. It'd be great to see you. It'd be great to be there. We've got a few comedians turning up.
Oh, quality.
Serious,
There is a band there. There is a band there that you might be interested in, though. No Oasis.
Yes.
Oh, I know all about Oasis. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a tough summer for them. They've got a lot more competition than they used to.
Indeed. Well, the reason we say that is because you've been on Celebrity Mastermind and your specialist subject being Oasis. Is that correct?
It's correct. Yes.
Wow.
The most pressure I've ever felt about anything in my life.
And you won that.
Yeah.
It ain't just a pretty face.
No, he's not.
He's got a brain on the man and all.
What was one question you got to and you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that one? Did you blank any of them?
But the whole thing, I blanked out on the whole thing. I felt like I was just completely in the zone of. To be honest, it was all the Oasis ones were. I knew most of them. There was one that I got wrong, and it was like, I'm trying to think of the wording of it. It was basically who presented. It might have been like Live and Kicking or something when Oasis first appeared on TV, and I mean, I don't even know that now. I think it might have guessed Davina McCall or something. But all the others I'd kind of known. It was the general knowledge round where you've just got to, I don't know, you just completely black out, and they're asking things. There was one that I answered a question about like a Russian ballerina, and I thought, I don't know where that's come from.
I don't know what it is. It's them things when you're watching and seeing all of the time, your brain just keeps it. Have you ever frozen when you've been up there doing your bit of comedy and that then? Well, on tour?
Oh, early on, that is the biggest fear, that you're going to go, you're on stage, you forget your words, and you just completely freeze. I mean, luckily it hasn't happened for a long time, but I remember in those early days, that is the number one fear. And also like you're scared of going off the script that you've prepared and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'd probably still have anxiety dreams about being stood on a stage with a dry mouth and forgetting the words. But in reality, it doesn't really happen anymore because when you've been doing it that long, you've always got something to say.
And also, I think because you brought your family element into it and your comedy's based around your family and your children, you sort of know the content. I know you're making the stories up in your brain, but they're based upon true life, right? You're elaborating on them. It's what I do on socials as well. You elaborate, you take something and you run with it, but the core of it's true, innit? In the back of your head.
Yeah.
So you can reenact it again, can't you?
Yeah, you're completely right. And that is actually as well, like, certainly when you start out in comedy, everyone's like, oh, you got to wait till you like find your voice and the stuff that feels natural to you. And I always never really understood what they meant by it. But now when you're just talking about real stuff, you're exactly right. It's so much easier to do. It feels funnier because it's real, and also people relate to it so much more as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Listen, you're intriguing me, mate. Give us your plug on your Instagram and your socials, mate. Where can people find you?
It's at GeorgeLewis.com on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
and George Lewis comedian on TikTok.
Well, there you go. I think he's worth a follower, isn't he?
100%.
We're just going to add to that already massive amount of followers.
Yeah.
Jesus, he must be on a fortune, this fella.
Before you go, though, I have got one more question.
Go on.
Which is your favourite kid?
Of mine?
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't ask that.
Yeah, yours.
On yours, who's your favourite child? Go on, out the three.
Well, I think the girl might be in earshot, so we'll go with her.
Do you know what I always say? The way I get around that question, right? I always say you're my favourite middle child or you're my favourite eldest daughter. My favourite youngest son. That is the only way I could get away with it. It's brilliant, it is. You're my favourite son. I'll take football 3 nights a week and every Sunday.
Yeah.
You're that one. Hey, before you go, George, what trivial things would you report upon your mates or your children to the police? Are you a grass is basically what I'm asking. Would you grass your children up or your mates?
Does it have to be a real crime?
No, just the smaller stuff. Do you know, like the stuff where they might have eaten your last chocolate bar, for example, and you think, do you know what? I want you to have 6 months in jail for that.
The thing that I realize this really is alienating for a lot of people because everyone is very protective about dogs, and I get that. And I do like dogs, even though my wife is always telling me that I hate them. I do like dogs. But what I don't like is when you go around to someone's house and their dog is just jumping all over you.
Yeah.
Got like a wet nose and a wet mouth, and it's all over your jeans, and everyone's just acting like that's normal and that's fine. And they go, "Oh, he likes you. He likes you." And I'm thinking, he's like really violating me here. And everyone just thinks it's cool. So I've just got to pretend that, oh, yeah, I love dogs. And then my wife, the moment we leave, my wife goes, "You hate dogs." And I'm like, no, I don't hate dogs. I just think, this should be a line. So send him to prison.
Do you know what you should do? Next time that happens around one of your mates' house, you should act like a dog and start sniffing him. Or her.
Start dribbling all over him.
And I think I know the answer to this question, mate, but when you was younger and you was a child, what did you want to do for a living? Are you living your dream, basically?
Oh, well, I am. Yeah, I am absolutely living my dream. I think my ill-advised first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to be a chimney sweep after watching Mary Poppins. But I've seen
actually a little bit.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah,
a little bit.
Right. If it all goes wrong.
Well, we got a friend who actually does that, and he cleaned our chimneys out a little while ago, and he resembles you.
Yeah, I think he could get away with that.
Yeah, he's an actual ballroom dancer as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a champion ballroom dancer, chimney sweep. So maybe you could be a comedian chimney sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I have gone off the idea since. Cause spinal problems, I think. Yeah.
Listen, thank you very much for coming on, George, mate. Really do appreciate you, brother.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for
Thank
having
you,
me.
mate. Have a good day, yeah?